rscrod's magic brake system here. The rscrod's magic brake system consists of you taking off your front caliper and cleaning up the pistons, pushing them back and everything else, so you can clean them up and get your front brake lever back to where it should be. If you ever pull your front brake lever and it comes in about 3/4 of the way, this might be a quick fix for it, and we're going to show you how to clean up this front caliper. As you can see right here, this one here is one that's still mounted on the bike. We have not done anything with it. Take a look at the screen on it. You can tell it's pretty dirty. So now I'm going to walk over here where Craig's sitting at, and what we've done is we've already cleaned this one up. And you can already see how clean that screen is if he just rotates it around here a little bit. There you go. And that right there shows you how much of a big difference it is. So what we're going to do is pull that cover off, and then I want you to take a note here of how clean the back of this brake caliper is. You can actually see the shininess of the metal, okay? So now we're going to go ahead and put this one back on, and we just want to use this as a reference to the one that we're going to do so you guys can see what we're doing. Be right back. Alright, now we're getting ready to remove the brake caliper off the front down tube, and that would be these two right here. These two bolts are 10 millimeters and these are 12 points. I recommend you get the right tool for the right job. Now on Craig's 07, these bolts are the same length, okay? When you get to the older models, the top bolt I believe is longer than what the lower bolts are at. So now he's going to go ahead and just, we broke them loose, so now he's just going to spin them out. And that caliper will just come right off the rotor. You reach down there with his other hand and grab the rotor to keep it from falling. Don't want to scratch up any parts or anything else like that. Keep your paint good. Pull the bolts out. Grab the rotor. Pull the rotor off. Now he's going to take a little bungee cord here. Just going to hook it into that top bolt bracket hole. And that way there, at least will help him assist in holding that brake caliper while he does his cleaning. So now what you can see here is that the rotor actually goes in between, okay? Your pistons is 1, 2, 3, and 4 here on the back side. Now, if you take and flip this over, he can pull this cap off and show you. Now that is actually the back side. There's your spring. Alright. What I want to do now is turn this over here just a little bit right there. Now as you can see, you have this little bolt that's right here. That's your brake pin. Once you put your brake pads back in there and you get them pushed in on the springs, then you put in your brake pin and that will hold those in. Okay? So now what we're going to do is rotate this thing over, and he's going to take a piece of board and just put down in between here.
Paint stir.
A paint stirring stick will work perfect. Okay, now keep in mind that these are Brembo brakes. Okay, on this style brake, you cannot just press on your front brake lever to get these pistons to close up and match your pads together. If you do, you will actually pop a piston out of the brake, and then you will be taking this whole thing apart. On the older Kelsey Hayes, like I have on my 03, I can actually pump my front brake and not put any board in between and not pop out a piston. So I warn you, be careful when doing this. I would always advise put the board in there, okay? Okay, as you can see in the video here, that the brake pads are pushed out. So now what we have to do is push the brake pads, separating them in order to push the pistons back into that brake caliper housing, okay? Now, it's not a good idea to take a screwdriver, go in on the pads and push on the pads to push them back. If you do, I recommend that you put some tape or something on the metal of the screwdriver to do that, or find another way of getting it back. So we'll be right back when we get these pistons pushed back. Okay, here we go. We got some tape on the end of the screwdriver. He's going to put the screwdriver in on the pads. He's actually going to twist and pry. But notice where he put the screwdriver. The screwdriver is right located even with the pistons. And he's going to alternate from one end to the other end, going slow and not to cause any damage to the pad. So take your time, and work those pads and the pistons back into the housing, okay? Alright, now I'm going to come back over here again, and now you can see that we got a really nice, pretty good gap in there.
There you go.
Alrighty, so now the next step to do from here is to grab that piece of board that we had. Now you're going to put it down inside there, and what he's going to do is he's going to hold that board so that only one side of the piston, I'm sorry, one side of the brake pistons will be actually working, pushing the pad down in the direction. So he's going to hold one set down, and we're going to pump the front brake, get the other set to come down. Okay, there you go. The set on the left just is coming down, smashing up against the board. Now you can see the pistons. They're starting to come out. Alrighty, he says, and that's good. So now we're going to hold that right there. We'll be right back. Okay, as you can see, Greg now took the caliper and wrapped it into a rag, okay? Because what we're going to do is we're going to pull this stick up out of here. Alright, there's the stick out of there. Now he's going to take a can of brake cleaner and he's going to spray on that pistons. He's going to spray and just douse the living daylights out of that. Get that all nice and clean, get all that carbon off there. Spray down on the inside, all the way down the tracks. And he's going to take it and he's going to flip it over. Now this is where the cleaning really begins. Keep careful, you know, you got your rag around there so it doesn't spray and splash up on top of your bike and everything else. Going to just douse it down. You can tell already it's getting nice and clean there. And we're going to come back in here and we're going to take some long Q-tips after we got this sprayed down there. We're going to take Q-tips and clean this all up.
Q-tips.
See, all he's doing is just taking that Q-tip, getting down in all the crevices and everything that he can possibly get into. Spray it a little more if he has to. So this is what we're going to do. Once we get this side done, and he gets the back end all cleaned up, we'll be right back so we'll show you how to do the other side.